Okie dokie. Let's get to the real crux of the matter.
This is the important thing of the day.
So this conversation cropped up yesterday in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football editorial bunker.
Yeah. I guess I should explain why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so time to do an old married person thing. My wife and I have a free weekend to ourselves. We don't get those very often, so we were trying to think of the dumbest way to spend the weekend, and we decided that would be making a ton of tacos and eating a bunch of sugary kids cereal.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Haven't done that in years, right? We're turning back the clock in the Thompson household, and that's which then sparked this debate. What are your top 5 guilty pleasure cereals?
Yeah, and so we kind of ended up we needed to come to a firm grasp on what this actually was.
Right.
And so we decided to say kids cereal.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that when you were a kid, if you were able to have the cereal, you would go yes.
Yeah. And I have to make a example of Greg Powers, who was like, when I'm feeling naughty, I get Honey Nut Cheerios. That's what I do. When I'm feeling like a bad little boy, I'm going to get me some Honey Nut. And as Ish rightly pointed out, if the box says lowers your cholesterol, it cannot be on this list.
So, exactly. So, because I pointed out to you that right now, I'm 165 years old. My favorite cereal, if you give me any cereal in the world, I like Special K Red Berries. I think Special K Red Berries is great. It's delicious. I also know it's pretty healthy, so that obviously plays into it. But that is not eligible for this because I freely recognize that is an old person cereal.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an adult cereal.
Right.
So things like I'm trying to think of another.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Raisin Bran Crunch. Honey Bunches of Oats. Okay?
Yeah, there you go.
And I like Honey Bunches of Oats. Again, as an adult. But this is not for that.
No.
So we've each come up with our top 5.
All right.
And I think we're going to let Max Thompson go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll go Max-ish in the name.
All right. I'm gonna keep the graphic off because it tells all of them, and then we'll put them up at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
My top 5 from 5 to 1.
Yes.
5 Fruity Pebbles.
Okay.
4 Reese's Puffs. 3 Cocoa Pebbles. 2 Cap'n Crunch. Number 1 Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If you think it's anything else, you're an idiot.
Okay.
Greg Tepper.
Mine. Number 5, Fruity Pebbles. Number 4, Golden Grams. Number 3, Fruit Loops. Number 2, Captain Crunch. And number 1, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Correct.
That is my picks.
Ishmael Johnson.
We go to Ishmael Johnson.
All right. Number 5, Frankenberry.
Ooh.
I like this off the board pick.
Number 4, Trix.
Didn't even think of Trix, and I'm a little jealous.
Number 3, Cocoa Pebbles. Number 2, Apple Jacks.
Also a good pick.
Number 1, Fruit Loops for me.
Fruit Loops.
So if you can look at mine,
You're a fruit guy.
yeah,
You're a fruit
I think there's that fruity, sugary flavor that overrides a lot for me.
So let's break this down a little
Here's
bit.
the board. It's
First
up now.
first and foremost, Max Thompson and I have got to stop spending so much time together.
Oh, we really do. This is terrifying.
We had 3
Yeah.
exactly the same, including
Yeah.
our top 2.
Yes.
Including our top
Yes.
2. My number 1 overall pick is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yep.
I know that's yours.
Yep.
Here's what I love about Cinnamon Toast Crunch. First and foremost, in my household growing up, my mom and dad would not let us have sugary cereals. That was not we it was a super special occasion whenever we got a thing of Fruity Pebbles. That was like, "Oh my gosh.
Sure.
That's incredible." But Cinnamon Toast Crunch was the exception. They're like, "Oh, it's just healthy enough."
Yeah.
Which for me was money because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is excellent.
It's because it's pure cinnamon and sugar. That's why.
It's great.
Oh.
And by the way, I'll just throw this out there. The milk afterwards,
Choice.
that's an extra special.
Choice.
Now, I'm very interested in because your list obviously differs a lot from ours.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Frankenberry is an inspired choice.
Yes.
Frankenberry was one of those. It was one of those things where my mom never bought it, but every time I went over to a friend's house, I was like, "They have Frank." I was like, "Oh yes."
Yeah.
Like for some reason, it always, like in the minds of a lot of people, those cereals, the Frankenberry, the Blueberry, and the Count Chocula, those kind of probably got lost when you were trying to look for cereals. But like if your friend had it, you're, "Oh, I love that."
Yeah.
And you always just forget about it. I always forgot about it until I went over to a friend's or my cousins who had it, and I was like, "That's what I'm getting."
Going over to a friend's house was always a dicey proposition
Right.
for breakfast.
Yeah.
It was very feast or famine. That you are either rolling over there and it's nothing but kicks.
Yep. Yeah. No, yeah.
Or
I
like-
definitely had kicks,
Or
friends.
or like regular Cheerios.
Yeah.
Whenever you're having sleepover, it's like, oh, let's have some breakfast. Then you
Yeah.
go down there and it's like, oh, hey, look, a bowl of life.
Yeah.
Or you'd go over to your friend's house and it's like, oh my gosh, do you know they got Cocoa Pebbles up here? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, so Fruit Loops number one for you.
Yes, because partially, I had to preface this for Max. I was never someone who liked the overtly sugary cereals, and so like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
He wasn't
always-
allowed to live as a child.
I was allowed to have it. Like it was fine, but I was one who like to me, Cocoa Puffs are too much for me. Cocoa Pebbles are fine.
See, but I would.
that's interesting.
See, I'm going to piggyback off that because I think this is an important point to make. Matt Stepp, by the way, I haven't told you guys his.
Yeah.
number
Oh
one
yeah,
pick,
we don't know his.
Cookie Crisp.
See, that's a too much for me.
Too much.
See, it's too much.
That's a too much
and his,
for me.
And his number two, I believe, his two other ones were Cocoa Puffs and Frankenberry.
Yeah.
But piggybacking off your Cocoa Puffs thing, I think the Fruity Pebbles are better. They're denser. You get more chocolate flavor in each bite.
Right.
The puffs in and of themselves are puffed with air. You got to eat. You don't get as much in a
Yeah,
spoonful.
you feel like you're getting
It's good. I'm
there's-
with you. It's got to
yeah.
be Pebbles all the way over Puffs.
Right.
Right.
And so that's my thing is like I can't deal with. There's always that threshold for me where I'm like, this is too sugary, and like then I get full and I'm like, I can't finish.
All
this.
right. Here and then there's others that each of us have exclusively on our board, like yours with Frankenberry.
Yeah.
You had Reese's Puffs.
Oh, dude. If they would, then this. I'm going to go back to my Puffs point. If they made Reese's Pebbles, bruh.
See,
We'd have some.
Bruh.
We'd have some.
We'd
trouble.
have- a challenger.
That's just so much for me.
Yeah.
That's the point, Greg.
Reese's, yeah. The cereal was too much. If they made Pebbles, then it might be.
I don't think you guys understand the premise.
No, see, that's
Okay.
This is I'm having dessert for breakfast.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, let's agree on something though.
Okay.
We both agree that Cinnamon Toast Crunch is great.
Oh,
We also both agree Captain Crunch.
And I want
my
to
money.
make a distinction here because someone did in the comments, and I think this is true. It's better with Crunch Berries
Yeah, okay,
because
but
you
I'm
can get the
yes.
Captain Crunch by itself.
agreed.
Better with Crunch Berries.
Right.
Agreed.
Yes,
But that's not a make or break thing for me.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying
Okay.
if you give me a bowl of Captain Crunch, I'm happy. You give me a bowl of Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, hey, things are going even better.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm
All right.
not passing
Okay.
up the Captain Crunch.
I'm going to say it means a little bit more to me, but I can stand by this choice. That's fine.
The one that I had that I don't think anybody else had was Golden Grams. Golden Grams, I always like. To me, that is on that same level. What you were talking about how it's not too much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's sugary, it's sweet, but it's not so much as like, oh my gosh, I'm just eating a bowl of sugar. I'm going to disagree with you on one of them though, Ishmael.
Okay.
Apple Jacks is a trash cereal.
Ooh, trash? No.
Sir, no,
Boo,
sir.
Boo this man.
No, I'm down. I'm
Boo
getting out
this
here.
man.
I'm out on Apple Jacks.
Boo this man.
And you know what? Here's the thing. They even had to run commercials saying it doesn't taste like apples. It's like, yeah, because you know what it tastes like? Garbage.
Tastes like
Oh.
That's what
cinnamon.
it tastes like.
Your
Oh.
number one is
No.
a cinnamon cereal.
Yeah, I'm out on Apple Jacks.
No. Oh, you're the
0
worst.
stars on
You
Apple
are
Jacks.
absolutely not. No, that's
Okay. Can we agree?
Nope. Look at this.
Can we?
This is terrible.
No. Here's another trash cereal
Terrible opinion.
from another trash cereal from that was on nobody's list. And I
Uh-huh.
think we all agree about this because it's a trap. This is a trap cereal.
Okay.
It's Lucky Charms.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Because Lucky Charms, the marshmallows, we all agree.
Well,
hey,
It
I
looks
have
the
marshmallows.
part. It looks
It
the
looks
part.
the part.
Yeah.
But then you've got another 70% of the cereal, and it's like you're eating oats.
I'd argue that the overabundance of marshmallows is kind of what kills it.
Oh, you think there's too many marshmallows?
I think there's too many because like
Oh,
you're eating
interesting.
and it's like there's no like because there's so many factors you got to take into account. Like if you don't eat it really quick, then it's just like lumps of mush, right? And then like because it's so many marshmallows, it's then just an entire cereal of mush. And so it's like okay,
Yeah.
so it's sugary mush, whatever. And
I-
I mean the marshmallows always look terrible.
I have
Like
to,
they never look like they always
like,
oh it's a little hat.
the
It's
thing
like,
about
that
the
doesn't look like a
marshmallows.
hat.
The other thing
Like,
about the
it's- there's-
marshmallows too is like they got to be able to preserve them, right? So they're kind of
Right.
like freeze dried.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had like a softer marshmallow, I might like it.
Right.
Maybe.
And,
Yeah, I
and
don't
in
know.
some case, you can just go get a marshmallow.
Yeah.
Like
I'd
you
rather
can just
do
go have
that.
a marshmallow. Like you can just go actually have a marshmallow instead of trying to pose it as cereal. Yeah, it's no Lucky Charms. I'm out on that.
Here's one that I debated.
Phil Vaney says Lucky Charms only passed the eyeball test. They're the Tony Mandarich of cereal.
That's
That's a
that's
great-
great comparison.
Great
That's
commercials, great
That's
all that,
pretty
and then
good.
you get
Okay.
nope, you don't like it in the
You're
bowl.
gonna have a great time, kids.
Couple other points here. couple other points. To me, and I mentioned it with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I think it's very important to have elite milk after you're done.
Sure.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you got to have the
Yeah.
residual
Yeah.
milk,
A reward.
and that's why Fruity Pebbles makes my list. Fruity Pebbles all together,
Oh, yeah.
they're fine.
Yeah.
They're okay.
They're fine.
But
I like
but
them.
you add in that milk, and you give me that milk afterwards.
I think
milk
the
is
only
just
one
like,
on mine that I can't. I think Trix is the only one on mine that does not
Yeah.
have a distinguishable milk afterward. Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Cocoa Pebbles, Frankenberry, all those great milk. Great milk.
The other thing for me, and this was one that I toyed with, but but in the end I felt like it felt too adult for it, because right on that line is Frosted Flakes.
See, Rob Hadaway is in our mentions right now, screaming about Frosted Flakes not being on.
I have
anyone's list.
one in along that lines is the Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah, man, that's again.
We took a thing that without the frosted part is supposed to be like an adult healthy
Right,
sort of breakfast.
but that Frosted's a big
But we put
part of that.
frost on it, and now
Like
it's
that
a
Frosted's
kid's cereal.
like that. The Frosted Mini Wheat, because there's such big bites too.
oh yeah,
That like, I personally like that, and so it's like because you're getting a lot. Like it's like there's just this thing drenched in frosted sugar, and there it is. Like I don't know. I agree with the Frosted Flakes and the Mini Wheats. That's like that's
They're
on that
right
border,
there,
right there on that border.
late in my cereal career, because I don't eat. Do you guys eat cereal anymore?
No, this is the whole point.
Occasionally,
The
I do.
reason we're doing this is because I don't think I've had cereal in years
Yeah.
of any kind.
Yeah, I mean I've cereal
Late
that
a late entry in my cereal career. Did you guys ever have French Toast Crunch? Okay,
Yeah.
No,
it was
I never
by
did.
the makers of Cinnamon
Yeah.
Toast Crunch.
Yeah. Well, I got one more for you.
Really good.
My brother. So we were talking about this. My brother is the elite cereal eater. My brother.
Who's having a third kid today? By
He's
the way.
having my third nephew is on the way today, which is exciting. And my brother, my brother is just turned 31. He still eats these cereals all the time. All of them.
Wow.
And he introduced me. I sent this message to you guys to cereals I didn't even know existed. Nilla wafer banana pudding cereal.
What?
I'm like looking for that now.
That's a lot.
I'm looking for that.
what?
You made that up.
No, that's pop. There's a Pop-Tart cereal now.
You made
there are
that up.
There are little Pop-Tarts that are cereal now. Also,
That's made up. That's
he
not
brought
made
up a discontinued one that he is right about that I know I loved, he loved, and my other brother loved. Waffle Crisp.
Oh my gosh,
Waffle Crisp. You remember Waffle
my
Crisp?
heart just skipped a beat. Yes,
Waffle
I remember
Crisp.
Waffle Crisp.
They don't make it anymore.
Oh,
and that would be in
wow.
my top 5.
Well,
Yeah.
along that line, honeycomb.
Honeycomb.
I liked honeycomb.
And the other thing is honeycomb is also it's in that Frosted Flakes category where
Yeah.
it's like it's almost not sweet enough
Right.
to fall into this category, but yet really good. I remember my brother loved
And also
honeycomb growing up.
throw. My mom would get this occasionally, and I wouldn't hate it. I liked it quite a bit. Was Honey Smacks
Okay.
Honey Smacks
with the
Yeah.
frog?
right.
With the frog,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the frog mascot. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I always felt like Honey Smacks and Golden Crisp were the same thing.
Right.
Are they not?
It seems like
I
it,
feel
right?
like they are.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Now so one of the things that we would do in our house is that again they would not buy the big box, but sometimes my folks would be feeling like, hey, you know what, our kids deserve nice things. We will get them the 8-pack of the minis. Of the
Oh,
the
yeah,
individual
yeah, yeah.
boxes,
Ah.
and with me and 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that was a fight to
Yeah.
get there first.
Yeah.
Because in the end, there were like of the 8, there were probably 5 good ones.
you don't want the Cheerios.
No, but there's also Cheerios, and there's also Kix, and
Yeah.
there's also trash cereals
You don't
like
want
that.
those, yeah.
And nobody wants that. So it ended up being like Neapolitan ice cream.
Right.
Where it's like you eat the chocolate, you eat the vanilla, the strawberry, like,
And then there's just
hey,
Kix
we're out of
left.
Neapolitan ice cream. There's still like a third of it left. That was the kind of thing with the mini boxes. You have to fight for it.
It's like the chips bag. It's like, oh, we got Fritos. We need a bag. All we have are Fritos left.
we've got our Fritos left.
It's worth noting that Janice Lissy says that Ishmael's list is the best.
Okay, thank you. There you go.
I set him up there, though, because everyone else agrees that mine is the best.
Oh,
Well,
So-
which in part, in theory, means
theory
that mine
means
is
that-
mostly the best.
Tep gets a little shine. You get a little shine.
That's all I
Tep.
need.
That's all a little bit of shine.
Reflected
But
glory!
but I do need to give a special shout out to someone especially after my own heart. It's Ember Keith, who says Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles as Rice Krispie treats, elite, and he's right.
Oh, wow.
He's right. It's amazing. And
Because you're a baker.
I am. What do I always get when we go to Buc-ee's? I get the Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie treat that's sitting there on the stand. And I will say, Mr. Golden Grams, you want to make s'mores Rice Krispie treats? Golden Grams, marshmallow, chocolate chips. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting some galaxy brain right now.
Yeah, and I did Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal bars.
That's right, you did.
Guys'
And they were,
Christmas cookie
and
boxes.
they were excellent.
Yeah.
And they were excellent.
So, just throwing it out there.
What an important, I feel like we've had an important discussion
Mm-hmm.
here on today's show.
Yeah.
We hear all the time from our viewers, I appreciate your courage that we have on this show to tackle the hard issues, the issues that people are talking about, and the issues that matter.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did a lot of good today.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I have to apologize to Ember. Both of her pictures are of Ben and her family. It's actually a she. Ember, I love you. Your opinions on food are amazing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's
Do we
it.
have
I
any
mean,
final
look, this is the most excited anyone's ever been about anything. The comments were blowing up the whole time. We have lots of hot takes. I don't think I could get through all of them.
I love takes.
I just want to give a special shout out to everyone who agreed with me because you're right.
Oh my gosh. It's like I said, you have a pretty good list. It's not a perfect list, but you have a pretty good list.